Hi, so this is my Ohana, my LILO and Stitch layout, and I've put a border all around it, which was wood paper, and then I've taken a piece of paper and put it across here, and then for nail heads I just cut out with my circle punch, and as you can see I added some glossy accents to that, so that's how I got the border effect. Originally this layout was supposed to be like this. That was the original layout, but I didn't like it like that. Something to do with the surfboard, so I switched it, and I had to add, because originally I didn't have these two pieces in here, so I had to pull the whole thing apart, and I tend to glue everything down as I go, which I'm learning to stop doing because I do change my mind, and I ended up flipping it, which is better because it's just better flow with the eye with those two facing each other. So the Ohana family, I used my Cricut and I cut that out, and I've hand drawn these little ducks. This I got off the internet. I cut it out with Cricut, and then I drew these little coconuts here. This I printed off and then colored it in with Copics, and for the flame I used this sparkly yellow paper, and then I put vellum on top of it. And I've sewn, I keep wanting to say hand sewn. I don't hand sew. I used my machine and cut out and sewn this weird stitch. I'm not quite sure what stitch it is, but it reminded me of rope, so I kind of went with it. And these flowers, I actually made my own flowers for the first time in a long time. I usually just use Prima flowers, but I have this punch from the dollar store, and I cut out 5 or 6 of them and put them in the middle, and then I just scrunch them up. And then this is, I do believe, a Tim Holtz tattered flowers or something die cut, and I just literally like scrunch the flowers up, and it gives it like a nice scrunchy effect. And then these I used a die cut for, and it's like a velvet for those, and this is a die cut as well, and I've added some sparkle to them. Same thing with these little flowers here. I used that tiny little dollar store punch, and I just scrunched them up and made little flowers. So I've run out of my regular marker paper. I bought a lot of Copic markers used, and the lady gave me the paper that came with it. It was called Cryogen White, and it had a beautiful sparkle to it, and it was like the best marker paper I've ever used. It blended well. I loved it. She also gave me this other kind called Heavenly White, which I do not recommend. As you can see with the brown, see all the like little spots? I don't know, it doesn't like to take to certain colors, so it doesn't blend. I had a hard time blending. So I'm in search of a good marker paper. It really helps with your coloring with Copics. It really helps get all those deeper shading and everything. So, but anyways, the one thing about the Cryogen White is that it has sparkle to it, and so I was really sad that I don't have that anymore. So I found Spectrum Noir Sparkle. It's this kind of like paint. You shake it up, and it goes on very clear. You can get it like that in a 3-pack, or you can get a 3-pack of pens. Very inexpensive to do. And just look at the sparkle that it gives. And that was just one layer. Like if I wanted more sparkle than that, I could keep layering it as it dried, add another layer, and it'd be crazy, insane, sparkly. So I highly recommend that, Spectrum Noir. The pen, you have less control. Sometimes it comes out in a blob. And you do have to shake them if you're not using them to keep the ink flowing. But I find with the paint jars that I have more control over how much goes on if I use a paintbrush. And that's how I apply it. Just a very thin layer. It doesn't crinkle the paper or anything as it gets wet. So these are Martha Stewart, I believe, both the butterflies in this layout. And for the surfboard, I took my Cricut and I put a pen in it, not a Cricut pen, I hacked my maker to use any pen. And I printed that out so it was nice and straight, and then I just drew the surfboard around it and then colored it with the Copics. Yeah, Martha Stewart butterflies there. With this paper, so I use, I don't know if you can still get it, I've had this for many years, this glitter snow. So I use it for snow, and I use it for waves, for water. It goes on very 3D. I think I used the non-sparkly. There's a non-sparkly version for that. I love the way it looks. To me, it looks like waves. So I've added it all in the background, little waves all around the island. I And then I put glossy accents, just kind of waved it back and forth on there to make it glisten with water. And that's how I get the water effect. And then this is actual sandpaper. Not, sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's not actual sandpaper. It's paper that looks like sand. Big difference there. Could use sandpaper though. I wonder if it's acid free. That'd be actually really cool for a new texture. And then Stitch. And Stitch is very sparkly. You see that sparkle there. This Stitch I can draw with my eyes closed. I'm on the phone, I doodle this guy, I'm at meetings, and it's something that I don't have to listen to at the moment, so I let my mind wander. I automatically draw this guy. So this I could draw in my sleep. It's like my favorite version of Stitch. I'm not a huge fan of LILO and Stitch movie. It was cute. I've seen it once. I didn't see it when it first came out because I was a bratty teenager when it first came out. I did see it recently with my family. I do like that it was hand-drawn. It was like one of the last hand-drawn ones, if not the last hand-drawn one. But I don't like Stitch's voice, and I don't like the way Stitch behaves. But I love Stitch. I have to buy all the Stitch things. I just think he's adorably drawn. So it's very bizarre because I actually don't like the character, but I like the way he's drawn. So I don't know. I'm weird that way, I guess. But yeah, so that's that layout. Oh, and I did the sun. The sun I used a Martha Stewart. I have a circle cutter. So you put like this little cutter in, and it goes in any size circle you want. And that's made with that shiny, I don't know if it'll pick up, like a shiny yellow that I like to use for my suns. So yeah, there's that layout. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Please subscribe. I'm on a roll with my layouts. Plus I have backlogged probably about 4 different albums full. So like 40 layouts that I do have to eventually load on here. So if you subscribe to my channel and you hit notifications, like if you're interested in making sure you don't forget that I have something uploaded, it'll let you know when something new comes on. Thumbs up, and I love comments, and I'm always happy to answer your questions, guys. Thanks. Bye.